Okay, so first things first. In this review, I'll be going over the Benchmade 320 Precinct, a flipper designed by Butch Ball. Now, let me address two things brought up in the comments last time while we go over the knife dimensions. First is my need to moisturize. Okay, fair point. I'll get them nice and lubed up before handling the blade. Sounds safe, right? My father never told me the importance of moisturizing, so I think we'll just blame him. Next, one guy said, "Wow, you get a knife and say nice things about it. Maybe next time we'll get a good review." Yes, the universally beloved zero tolerance 0350 is a piece of garbage you are going to get a straight dope on me from and nowhere else because it's a giant conspiracy. Alright, I just had to wait to say it until this review. So never mind all the positive reviews on Knife Center and Amazon. Sorry for being a shill. Anyway, really, the knife was heavy and that's kind of about it, you know. I brought that up, so what else were you looking for? Well, since I have no corporate entanglements for this knife, let's trash it! Just kidding. The 320 is actually a pretty nice lightweight flipper. I've said it in other reviews many times, but my ideal knife weight is under 4 ounces. I'm more likely to daily carry a knife if it has a nice clip, isn't bulky, and it's light. Now, I have several heavy knives I love, like the 0350, but I just don't carry them at work or as often. The 320 has a drop point, flat ground blade made from 154 cm, like found in the Griptilian. So it has a decent amount of wear resistance, but it's also easy to resharpen. It's mostly a light stone washed and partially satin finish. The blade is flipped open by, you guessed it, a flipper stud. Now, it uses a ball bearing system, so it doesn't take a whole lot of force to open it. And I don't own a whole lot of flippers, but I do find most of the cheap Enlins and Gonzos I own, the flipper stud really doesn't protrude as far enough as I'd like it to. I don't know why you can't make it with a higher peak like this one so you can hit it without hitting your finger on the handle and scratching the crap out of your fingernails. The action is smooth, but not quite as smooth as a monolock review I did. But it's a fraction of the price of the monolock. And that one still had some slight ergonomic issues anyway. I like this one a little bit better. And it's also about $120. It comes in a partially serrated version and an optionally tactically black murdered out coating. The blade is locked into place by a liner lock. Liner locks are just okay, but they aren't my favorite. This one ain't hard to disengage, but it's no compression lock. After you disengage, there's the part where the tang hits the detent ball, so there's a little bit of force you got to go over there. And then it's smooth sailing the rest of the way. So it's not hard to disengage, it's just, it requires a little bit of force. Now, also, it is possible to fling the blade open when it's closed if you try hard enough. It won't drift open in your pocket, though, so D10 is like just, average. A lot of knives seem to be like this, even expensive ones. The handle has an open back design. I wish it were just a half an inch longer, at least for my hands. I wouldn't call it a major complaint, though, because it has the finger groove up front. That gives you cutting control. I like that. Just like the 0350 have. You're like, I get it, dude. So one side of the handle is just a slab of G10. The other side is G10 with stainless steel black coated liner and a hole near the back to save a little bit more weight. So it's actually only half lined, which is where some of the weight saving comes in. Then there's some finer jimping on the blade spine to allow for some friction when you're doing some heavy duty cutting. And there's also, of course, a little bit of jimping on the liner lock like most of them are on knives. The handle tapers near the back and it's comfortable for not quite having a full-size handle. The clip allows for tip-up carry, but it's reversible to the right or left side for tip-up. Alright, let's do some cutting while I wrap it up. I have about 5 Benchmades now, and this is probably my second favorite. Maybe the 941 is my favorite. I still haven't reviewed that yet. They're like, great, another Benchmade coming up. I like the handle, the ergonomics, the deployment, and the weight. They're all very good. Like I said before, I like it better than the titanium monolock, mostly because that one cost more money and it still had some issues, whereas this one costs less. I think about the only thing I could say negative is I wish the handle felt a little bit better in my hand, but it's not really bad. I like it better than the Griptilian because the handle is a bit less thick for pocket carry, and you know what? The Griptilian, like, as much as it's a grippy knife, some of that grip hurts if you do some heavy duty cutting, I found. It's got a blade size for what I like in an EDC, the 320 that is. And the blade has an ever so slight recurve. No big whoop, right? You'll be happy to know that I have some cheap stuff coming up soon, including an Endland folder and a SEMA fixed blade, and maybe a Gonzo that I've had sitting on my desk for a month that I bought that other people have reviewed, so I've decided to hold off on that, but maybe I'll throw it up anyway. Speaking of throwing up, you'll have to throw up on your mouth one more time when I review the Benchmade 941 soon, which is, you know, an expensive knife. If you like this review, subscribe to my channel, give this video a thumbs up, leave a comment, and have a Merry Christmas, mofos.